This episode of Spectre Sound Studios is brought to you by the Shredmonton Metal Festival and Conference. I'll see you there in Edmonton, Alberta from May 6th to the 8th. Hey everyone, how's it going? It's Friday, May the 6th. It's time for another SMG Viewers Comments. I'm shooting this the Thursday night beforehand. I currently should be on a plane or arriving very shortly in Edmonton, Alberta for the Shredmonton Conference and Festival. It should be a lot of fun. Dying Fetus and a whole bunch of other fucking bands like Goat Whore and just a crap ton of bands are going to be there. For some reason, I'm on the panel. It should be a lot of fun. If you guys are anywhere near Edmonton, come check it out. I'll be there all weekend. It should be fucking awesome. Anyway, before we get going, I just want to remind everyone, especially all you anime nerds, that I've got a deal going on with Crunchyroll right now for my subscribers. If you go to crunchyroll.com/SpectreSound, you can get a free 30-day membership for Crunchyroll. That is freaking outstanding. Make sure you sign up to that. They got all kinds of amazing content on there. Anyway, on to the questions.
After watching your videos, I'm disappointed with how little you insulated me as a drummer.
Well, personally, I recommend, the Roxol Safe and Sound. And if you're lucky and you can find a building supply company, get the rigid fiberglass. That stuff is outstanding, especially for making bass traps. But the best piece of advice I can give you as a drummer is please stop drilling all over yourself and check your spelling before you hit that send button.
Can you make a tutorial on how to get a girlfriend? Asking for a friend.
Yeah, if you want to get a girlfriend, I don't know, maybe try growing a pair of balls and talking to some girls. That's a good start anyway.
Not trying to be a smartass, but Dio never took vocal lessons and he had one of the most powerful voices in metal for over 30 years. So yeah, not everyone needs lessons. But if you can't hold a note for 2 seconds without going flat, it's probably a good idea to take some.
Yeah, no shit. If you can get me somebody of Ronnie James Dio's caliber in my studio, yeah, believe me, I won't be complaining very much. Unfortunately, those guys are few and far between. The one person off the top of my head who I can think that would be that quality would be my friend Siegfried Song, who just recently put out this video. Yeah, Siegfried's not bad and just might be singing lead on the Moon on the Water cover. Seriously though, yeah, for us mere mortals though, yeah, vocal lessons are usually the way to go.
That's the best snare sound I've heard on this channel. What did you do differently?
Not much really. It's still the same 57 and small diaphragm condenser setup I've been using for the last 4 or 5 months. I've been having a lot of success with that. I really like to crank that condenser up because it just gives it a nice fucking solid crack that you really don't get with a dynamic mic. The one thing I have done, and I noticed this happened right around the time I released the Monocles mix, is you guys seem to like things mastered a little bit quieter. As it turns out, YouTube is turning everyone's mixes down to about -10 dBFS, so that gives us a whole lot more headroom to mix in. All you got to do is turn the mastering down a little bit and keep the average level around there, and the drums will have that much more impact, especially when you crank it up. So YouTube might very well be killing the loudness war dead, and it's high time something like this happened, in my opinion. I'm going to do a bit more experimentation with it and just see how it goes, but I do want to cover this much more in depth in a full-length episode about the whole mastering wars and all that kind of thing, because I grew up when we still had vinyl, and you couldn't really master a disc that hot or it'd jump right out of the groove, so that's one thing I really miss about records, are dynamics. And in 2016, the fact that they're coming back, I think, is a really amazing thing.
Random question. How do you deal with mixing and recording if you're sick with a head cold or the flu? I always feel like when I'm sick, I have no idea what's going on in my low end.
Yeah, usually when I'm sick, I just stay out of the studio because I'm freaking useless. I always have issues with congested ears. In the winter, I'll get a cold maybe once or twice, and I'm definitely out of commission for a couple of days. It's just like shooting bullets at the sun, man. It's completely pointless trying to mix in the studio when you're sick. Take a few days, go get some rest, go play some fucking video games or something. You're not going to do yourself any good. Maybe you can do some drum edits, but that's about it. Any critical mixing, forget it. Just come back when you're feeling better. You'll get a better mix, trust me, and you won't drive yourself insane.
I wish I had half the gear you had.
Yes, and 19-year-old me would probably say the exact same thing. Here's the thing to remember, man. I've been doing this since the late 90s. I mean, I started out with some pretty primitive equipment. And, I just built my gear collection up over the years. I'm 45 years old now. So it's definitely been a long, ongoing process. I mean, I didn't even get to open up my first studio till I was, 27, 28, because it took that long for the technology to come up. I got one of the very first multi-channel audio production systems for the PC. It was called Digital Wings for Audio by a company called Monolithic Systems, which is no longer around. And that predated pretty much everybody. That predated M Audio, and you name it. All these other cards wound up coming up after the Monolithic one. And like I said, though, it was all real primitive. I had shitty preamps. It's just you buy, you sell, you trade, and you just build your equipment up over the years. You just have to be patient and put your time in.
Last time I came this early, I had to pay child support. Cool video, man.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. That seems to be, a bunch of you guys really seem to like these behind the scenes videos, and that's really cool. In fact, I want to let you guys know, for those of you guys who want to watch more behind the scenes stuff, a lot of that's going to be going on this month. I'm going to be live streaming from live.me, the app. All this month, I'm going to be doing a minimum 5 hours a week on this, and I'll be posting up on Facebook for when I have my live streams up. I'm going to be doing Q&A sessions, but I'm also going to be doing some behind the scenes stuff, hopefully on the weekends. Hopefully I can get TJ out here for a couple sessions, and I'll show you guys just live how we do things, and when it comes to tracking drums and that kind of thing. So, get the live.me app and keep your eyes peeled, because I will be up quite a bit this month. So if you got questions, I do have answers. Make sure you check that out, because I'm going to be up an awful lot this month. Should be a lot of fun, though.
What is it that makes proper drums sound better anyway? You'd think having a perfect sound with every single beat would sound infinitely better. I have a lot of metal albums which show off some inconsistent drumming and occasionally a misbeat, but compared to perfect stuff, it sounds so much better. Why even is that? Feels more human? Maybe I should fucking Google it instead of drunk rambling on YouTube.
Well, that's just the point, when you have a quote-unquote perfect drum sound, it gets real boring real fast, because it just becomes so fucking predictable. The great thing about human performance is that it isn't predictable. We can strive for perfection, but we're never going to quite get there, and that's what makes it interesting, is that whole edge to the performance. But then again, you can have something truly magnificent, like go put on Iron Maiden, where Eagles Dare, and you just want to fucking play air drums on that every time you hear it, because that's just an outstanding performance. There's a huge difference between programming a drum beat and hearing a great musician give an inspiring performance. And that's really the key, is programmed drums lack inspiration. So that's why I'm always preaching, hey, let's learn how to record real drums. Hey, let's get some real drummers in there, because it drives the music in a way that a computer just can't do. Anyway, that's it for this week. Make sure you check me out on live.me. I'm going to be streaming all weekend from Shredmonton in Edmonton, Alberta, and I'll be back next week sometime, probably on Tuesday. Till then, I'll see you guys later. I am out of here.